Remember when buying olive oil used to feel simple? You'd grab a glass bottle, maybe it had some Italian-looking script on the label, and you felt pretty good about it. It smelled rich, looked green, and maybe a chef once told you it was liquid gold. But somewhere along the lines, that trust started to slip. Today, the olive oil aisle is a minefield of misleading labels, fake purity claims, and major brands taking advantage of a lack of regulation. A staggering number of products labeled extra virgin are anything but. So how do you know which brands to avoid and which ones are actually giving you the real thing? We're diving into 7 olive oil brands that have sparked serious concern from experts and consumers alike, and we'll wrap it all up with the 2 that have consistently passed the purity tests. Stick around until the end for those safe, reliable picks that are truly worth your money. Let's get started with the one sitting at the very bottom of the list. Number 7. Pompeian. This Baltimore-based brand has long been a staple in American kitchens, touting itself as the #1 selling olive oil brand in the United States. But multiple independent tests have raised some red flags. A 2015 study conducted by the National Consumers League found that Pompeian's extra virgin olive oil failed to meet the standards set by the International Olive Council. In fact, the oil was found to be more consistent with a lower-grade refined oil, lacking the fresh, bitter notes and antioxidant levels that define a true extra virgin. That seems to be the heart of it. When something is marketed as pure but doesn't deliver, it erodes your trust as a consumer. And Pompeian has faced repeated scrutiny, not just in lab results, but in consumer reviews citing flat or even rancid flavor. Think about that. You're trying to eat healthier, maybe drizzling it over a salad or sautéing some garlic, not realizing the stuff in your bottle may not even be what it's claiming to be. Let's see who's up next. Number 6. Bertolli. Owned by Mizkan America, this brand is one of the most recognized names on grocery store shelves, often positioned as a premium olive oil. But in 2010, Bertolli was at the center of a class action lawsuit claiming that their extra virgin olive oil was not, in fact, extra virgin by the time it reached many American kitchens. Testing revealed that prolonged shipping times, improper storage, and questionable sourcing practices all contributed to the degradation of quality. The lawsuit resulted in a $7 million settlement, and while Bertolli did pledge to change its labeling and packaging standards, the damage to its reputation lingered. One Redditor bluntly warned, "It's basically garbage with a fancy label." That might sound harsh, but it reflects what so many consumers feel after realizing they've paid top dollar for less than honest products. And here's the catch. Even after the lawsuit, consumer watchdogs continued to report inconsistent quality. That brings us to number 5, and things keep getting sketchier. Number 5. Colavita. Often marketed as an authentic, family-owned Italian brand, Colavita has built its reputation on the perceived romance of the Mediterranean. But romance only goes so far when the product doesn't measure up. In 2015, Colavita was named in a class action lawsuit alongside several other major labels, accused of misrepresenting its extra virgin status. Independent lab tests showed that the oil failed to meet international standards for acidity and sensory purity. One investigation even alleged that bottles labeled as 100% Italian were actually blends of oils from multiple countries, including Tunisia and Greece. The label might say Italy, but the origin story was more complicated than advertised. A former buyer commented, "You just assume it's the real deal because of the name, but it turns out it's more about branding than substance." That seems to be the heart of it. Many consumers trusted Colavita based on heritage cues without questioning what was really inside. But wait until you see number 4, where the problems move from misleading to downright deceptive. Number 4. Filippo Berio. This classic green label bottle has been a household name for generations, often marketed as imported from Italy and known for its budget-friendly pricing. But in 2015, Filippo Berio was hit with a class action lawsuit claiming deceptive labeling. The issue? Oils labeled as imported from Italy were in many cases not made from Italian olives at all. Instead, the olives were sourced from countries like Spain, Greece, and Tunisia, then simply bottled or processed in Italy. Under US law, that still qualifies as imported from Italy. But the wording misled many consumers into thinking they were buying 100% Italian olive oil. One customer put it perfectly. "I was shocked to find out I'd been buying imported ingredients with an Italian passport, so to speak." On top of that, lab testing found that many Filippo Berio bottles, labeled as extra virgin, failed to meet the basic chemical and sensory standards for that designation. Critics pointed to poor storage and a lack of transparency in the supply chain as likely causes. Let's be honest, when a bottle's main value seems to be in its packaging rather than what's inside, that should give us pause. So we've covered misleading country of origin labels, but our next brand raises concerns about whether it even belongs in the olive oil aisle at all. Number 3. Great Value, Walmart's store brand. On shelves across America, Great Value extra virgin olive oil promises quality at a bargain price. That's the appeal. But numerous reports and analyses have questioned whether it delivers anything close to what the label claims. In 2015, the University of California's Olive Center conducted extensive testing on supermarket oils, and private label brands like Great Value frequently failed to meet extra virgin standards. Further, taste tests revealed a flat, greasy character with none of the freshness or peppery bite associated with high-quality olive oils. That seems to be the heart of the issue. When something is priced too good to be true, it often is. Several consumer advocacy groups raised red flags about the sourcing transparency behind Great Value oils, with critics pointing out that it's nearly impossible to track where the olives are grown or how the oil is processed. And honestly, when the supply chain is this murky and the quality this questionable, it raises a real concern about what you're actually putting on your plate. So we've talked about price point pitfalls, but next up is a brand that wears authenticity as a badge of honor, and yet can't seem to shake its controversial testing history. Number 2. California Olive Ranch. Now, this one might surprise you. California Olive Ranch is often praised as a domestic alternative to imported olive oils, marketed with farm-fresh imagery and a commitment to local sourcing. But despite its wholesome brand identity, it has faced scrutiny over the years. Several consumer watchdogs and independent lab tests revealed that not all of their oils maintained the strict chemical profile expected from true extra virgin olive oil. In particular, their Global Blend series was spotlighted for including oils from various countries, like Argentina, Portugal, and Chile, while retaining that California branding. That raised eyebrows for many buyers who assumed the oil was entirely Californian. One industry blog commented, "It's marketing genius, but skirted dangerously close to misleading." The company did respond, clarifying the labeling and emphasizing transparency, but the confusion it caused points to a larger issue. Even brands that present themselves as premium and trustworthy can fall short. So we've examined a lot of brands that blurred the line, but now it's finally time to talk about the real deal, the 2 olive oils that have consistently passed the tests and earned consumer trust. Number 1. Kirkland Signature Organic Extra Virgin Olive Oil. Sold at Costco, this store brand favorite has quietly earned the respect of olive oil connoisseurs and food scientists alike. Unlike most private label oils, Kirkland's Organic Evo consistently meets the chemical and sensory criteria for true extra virgin olive oil. In fact, the University of California Davis Olive Center included it in their landmark 2010 and 2011 studies, and it passed with high marks both times. Testers praised its low acidity, high polyphenol content, and fresh, grassy flavor. Exactly the characteristics you want in a real extra virgin olive oil. What makes it stand out even more is the brand's transparent labeling, responsible sourcing from trusted producers in countries like Italy and Spain, and its use of dark-tinted bottles to preserve freshness. One food blogger raved, "It's the only olive oil I trust completely, and I buy it in bulk." For less than $1 an ounce, this is a rare case where incredible quality and value actually go hand in hand. If you've skipped over it before thinking it was just another store brand, it's definitely time for a second look. The second olive oil that deserves a permanent spot in your pantry is Cobram Estate. This Australian brand has earned widespread acclaim for its transparency, rigorous quality control, and fresh, robust flavor. In multiple independent lab analyses, Cobram Estate's extra virgin olive oils consistently met and exceeded international standards with impressively low acidity and high antioxidant content. The company harvests and bottles directly at its own facilities, reducing the lag time between picking and processing, which helps preserve the oil's natural nutrients and taste. Testers praised its spicy, herbaceous notes and vibrant green color, a hallmark of a truly fresh oil. You can find Cobram Estate in major grocery stores and online retailers, especially their California Select blend, which is a top choice for those wanting both origin assurance and purity. If you prioritize traceability and flavor, this is a brand you should absolutely try. And that completes our journey from disappointing deceptions to olive oils you can truly trust. What about you? Have you ever thought twice about the olive oil in your cabinet? Or maybe you've already made the switch to one of these trusted brands. Let us know your go-to picks and personal experiences in the comments below. We're all learning together here. Thank you so much for watching. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up, consider subscribing, and don't forget to ring that bell so you never miss one of our deep dives. Your support truly helps us keep making content that looks out for your health, your wallet, and your peace of mind. Stay informed and be a savvy shopper. And hey, if you made it all the way through this olive oil journey, we hope you're feeling a little more empowered the next time you're scanning labels at the store. Because the truth is, what you put on your salad or in your sauté pan actually matters, not just for flavor, but for your health, your wallet, and your trust as a consumer. There's a difference between slick marketing and honest quality, and now you know how to spot it. Whether you're just starting to pay closer attention to your ingredients or you've been a label reader for years, we hope today gave you clarity. Until next time, take care of yourself, keep asking questions, and as always, stay curious and stay kind. And if there's one takeaway from all of this, it's that the words extra virgin on a label don't automatically mean you're getting the real deal. Sadly, this industry thrives on loopholes and lax enforcement, and it's up to us as consumers to dig deeper. But the good news is, you're not powerless. With a little information, a bit of label reading, and by sticking to proven brands like Kirkland Signature and Cobram Estate, you can protect your pantry and your peace of mind. So here's to better food, smarter shopping, and always asking what's behind the label. Thanks again for tuning in, and we'll see you in the next one. And before we wrap up completely, one last tip. When in doubt, look for harvest and bottling dates on the label. Real extra virgin olive oil is like fresh juice, not something meant to sit on shelves for years. Ideally, you want oil that's been harvested within the last 12 to 18 months and stored in dark glass bottles or tins to protect it from light. Certifications from organizations like the California Olive Oil Council, COC, or the European Union's PDO and PGI can also serve as trustworthy indicators of authenticity. These small details might not seem like much, but they're your best defense against spending money on oil that's past its prime or not what it claims to be. Armed with this knowledge, you can make smarter choices and feel more confident with every purchase. Here's to good food, honest brands, and keeping both your kitchen and your standards high. So that's our full list. 7 olive oil brands to think twice about, and 2 that have truly earned their spot in your kitchen. Whether you're buying olive oil for health, flavor, or just habit, the goal is the same: to bring something real and nourishing into your home. And the truth is, you deserve that. Thanks again for watching, for caring about what you put on your plate, and for being part of a community that believes in smarter, more mindful choices. Until next time, stay curious, stay kind, and stay real. And finally, a quick thank you from all of us behind the scenes who work hard to research, test, and bring you honest content every week. These videos take time, care, and a lot of reading through fine print. And your comments, your shares, even just your likes truly keep this going. So whether you're watching from your kitchen, on your lunch break, or late at night before your next grocery run, know that your presence matters. Until next time, happy cooking, happy learning, and happy living. And if you're walking away from this video thinking, "Wait, I never realized olive oil could be this complicated," you're not alone. That's exactly why we created this guide. Because behind every bottle there's a story, and not all of them are as honest as they seem. But rather than feeling overwhelmed, feel equipped. You now have the tools to decode a label, see through the fog of marketing, and choose something that's genuinely good for you and your family. It's not about perfection, it's about being informed. And you've already taken the most important step. Thanks for being here, and we'll catch you in the next one. So as you close this video and head into your next grocery trip, just remember, your choices matter. Every bottle you pick up is a small vote for better practices, clearer labeling, and healthier meals. And while the olive oil world may be more confusing than it should be, you're no longer navigating it blindly. Whether you're pouring Kirkland over a roast, drizzling cobram on a summer salad, or simply choosing not to fall for a misleading label again, know that you're making empowered, informed decisions. That's something to feel good about. Be proud of the steps you're taking, and we can't wait to see you again for our next deep dive into the foods we all rely on every day.